Welcome to the Non-Negotiable Living podcast, where we're building lives by design by creating non-negotiable habits around fitness, family, faith, and financial freedom.
Hey friends, welcome back to Non-Negotiable Living. I've got a spicy one for you today. We're talking about 5 truths that might sting a little, but only because they hit close to home for so many women. These are things that women in their 30s and 40s need to hear, and if you're ready to stop spinning your wheels and finally see some progress in your body, health, and your energy levels, then this is for you. Also, please be ready for some tough love delivered with a whole heart. Grab your coffee, grab your walking shoes, whatever you're doing, and let's dive in. So this episode is for you if you've been using the same 10-pound dumbbells for months. That might be why you're not seeing progress. So let's dive into it. If you've been picking up the same 5 to 10-pound dumbbells week after week and year after year, wondering why nothing's changing, then this is your wake-up call. Your body adapts quickly, and when you lift weights that are no longer challenging, your muscles have no reason to grow. So that soreness you used to feel, it's gone because your body's just coasting. And if you're not pushing your progressive overload and increasing your resistance or volume over time, you're just maintaining. So research from the National Strength and Conditioning Association shows that to build strength and muscle mass, you must challenge the muscles with increasing loads of resistance. That's how you stimulate growth. So lifting heavier isn't going to make you bulky. It's going to make you strong, lean, and toned. And if you're scared to go heavier, remember your body is capable of much more than you give it credit for. So please remember, when you're trying to implement progressive overload, the idea is that if you are able to complete all of your reps for all of your sets at a certain weight, then it's time to increase. So for example, if you're using 10-pound weights on bicep curls and you're doing 3 sets at 12 reps and you're able to get all 12 reps on all 3 sets, then it might be time to increase. Obviously, there's going to be a limit. We're not trying to be Arnold over here, so you're not going to end up at a point where you're curling 100-pound dumbbells. Eventually, you're going to reach your body's max and limit, or you're going to reach a weight that you feel uncomfortable going above just because of grip strength or whatever it may be, but you have to be pushing yourself. And what happens is once you change from those 10-pound weights up to, say, 12.5 or 15-pound dumbbells, you're going to have to drop your reps down. So you can't expect to get all 12 reps on all 3 sets unless you've been drastically underestimating your strength previously, which a lot of women do. But you can expect that if you're doing 3 sets of a new weight, then you might hit 11, you might hit 7, you might hit 5. But that's okay because that gives you the baseline to increase the next week. So if you've been sticking with the same weights forever and ever and you're not seeing progress or muscle growth, then increase those weights, girl. You got this. So this episode is also for you if you believe that your workout has to be 60 minutes to count. In reality, you can get a effective metabolism boosting workout in just 30 minutes if you train with intention. So for me personally, I work out 30 minutes a day, at most 5 days a week. I don't do hour-long workouts. That's not my jam. I'm a busy mom. I run a business. I don't have time for that. I don't believe anybody should, and nobody needs to. So let's kill this myth once and for all. Longer does not mean better. A 30-minute strength training workout done with intensity and focus will always outperform a 60-minute scroll through Instagram session at the gym. So short doesn't mean easy, it means efficient. So we want to get in, get after it, get on with our day. What I always tell people is your 30-minute workout should feel intense. I always tell my clients that we want, on a scale of 1 to 10, to rate our workouts at like a 7 or greater, because we want to go hard for that 30 minutes and then be done with it and move on with our day. That's how we're going to gain more progress more quickly with a shorter period of time. So remember, your workouts should fit into your life, not the other way around. So if you're doing an hour-long workout 5-6 days a week, it's too much, and you might actually be overdoing it for your body to be able to achieve the results that you're after. You could be putting your body in a high cortisol state, making it harder to lose body fat, and you're likely undereating if you're exercising for an hour a day, 5 days a week. So just consider that. All right, this episode is also for the people who believe that sit-ups are going to give them abs. So in reality, visible abs come from muscle growth and smart nutrition. So I'm going to say this again for the ladies in the back. You cannot crunch your way to abs. You need 2 things to reveal abdominal definition. For one, you need enough muscle under your skin from strength training, especially compound movements like squats, deadlifts, and overhead presses, which engage our core naturally. And then we need nutrition that supports fat loss, which means eating enough protein, keeping blood sugar stable, and managing stress, because cortisol plays a big role in belly fat. So I tell my clients all the time that abs are made in the kitchen. A lot of times my clients will ask why there's not specific abdominal exercises in their workout plans, but it's really those compound movements that stabilize our core that are going to get the most abdominal results in the beginning until we're at low enough body fat percentages to really impact it through exercise. So if you're not doing any special ab exercises in your workouts, like crunches, that's okay. We have to focus on the fat loss first, otherwise you're never gonna be able to see the abs. Remember, everybody has abs underneath all the fat. We just have to cut the fat first. So a study in the Journal of Strength and Conditioning confirms that abdominal exercises alone do not reduce belly fat. You've got to approach it systematically. So crunches might burn, like you might feel it in your muscle, but they're not going to burn fat. So please stop doing 30-minute abdominal workouts. Please stop setting a whole day aside in your lifting routine just for abs. There's no reason for it. You need to focus on your nutrition. You need to focus on being in calorie deficit. That way you can reveal the abs that you already have, and then you can work on making them more prominent. All right, the next one. This episode is for the women who believe that running is going to build the body of their dreams. So if you're after a toned, fit, strong-looking body, strength training is the ticket to that. I know cardio can feel like a comfort zone. You pop in your headphones, you just go, but you're running 5 days a week and you're wondering why your body isn't changing. The truth is that muscle is what gives your body shape, not cardio. Running can be a great tool for heart health and endurance, but it doesn't help with body composition unless it's paired with strength training, at least 3 to 4 days a week. So without resistance, you're not building the glutes, the legs, the upper body definition that you're chasing. And yes, research does back this. The American Council on Exercise states that resistance training is the most effective way to improve body composition, metabolism, and overall strength. So if you love to run, then run, but do it because it fills your cup, do it because it feels good, do it because it reduces your stress, and do it because it increases your heart health. But if you're after a lean, toned, defined body, you need to build that through traditional strength training. So typically the splits that I recommend for people are 3 days of lifting and 2 days of cardio, or 4 days of lifting, 1 day of cardio. So we have to remember that if we do excess cardio and we're not eating enough paired with our strength training, we could actually be limiting our body's ability to build muscle as well. So we have to be careful with how much cardio we're doing because we can overdo it and we can cause our body to atrophy muscle, which is not the intention if you're trying to build a toned and fit body. All right, next up, this episode's for you if you think that eating 1,200 to 1,400 calories a day is what's going to get you to your goals. So you're not in a fat loss phase at that point, your body's just in a stress phase. And this is a big one. It's where I see so many women get stuck. They're tired, they're cranky, they're gaining weight, even they're eating so little. Girl, your body is in survival mode. That many calories isn't even enough for a middle school aged girl. So when you chronically undereat, especially under 1,400 calories, you don't just lose fat, you're losing muscle mass, and your metabolism slows, your cortisol rises, your hormones crash, and your body clings to fat for protection. So research from the International Journal of Obesity has shown that extreme calorie restriction leads to metabolic adaptation, meaning your body burns fewer calories over time, even at rest. So you think you're being disciplined, but your body thinks it's in danger. So the fix is to fuel our body properly. So prioritizing protein, eating our carbs, not starving ourselves. And, so many women come from that diet culture and mentality where they can't eat carbs, they have to skip breakfast, they need to intermittent fast, they need to eat low calories, when in reality, most women actually need to eat more because they're drastically undereating. Most of my clients are pretty shocked when they come into the program with how much I ask them to eat and how much more it was than they were trying to eat previously. And they're shocked that they can get results so quickly with eating more when they start fueling their body properly because it begins to balance their hormones, lower their cortisol, fuel their metabolism, and it actually allows their body to build muscle, which is what our metabolism is built off of. So please stop with the mindset that less is more when it comes to food. We need food. We need fuel. Our body demands it. So I know that these truths might feel kind of harsh. You might be doing one of them. You might be doing all of them, but they're said with love because I see that women are trying every day and they'll tell me that I'm doing all the right things and I can't get results. But I see women stuck in that constant cycle and I want better for them because you deserve better. You deserve for the energy and the time that you're putting into your health journey to be reaping the results that you're after. And you honestly might be what's holding you back. It might be that you're doing all the right things, you're just doing them the wrong way for your body. And that's typically what I see for most women. So please remember, heavier weights won't hurt you. They're going to help you build muscle, build up your metabolism so that you can achieve that lean, toned body that you're after. 30-minute workouts count, and I highly recommend them. 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week. That's the amount of exercise that the National Institute of Health recommends for any healthy individual, and it's more than enough. You need to remember that abs are not built by doing crunches. They are built in the kitchen by following our macros and lowering our body fat percentage so that we can make them visible. Please remember that cardio has its place, but it's not the body sculpting magic wand that everybody believes it is. Too much cardio can actually thwart our progress and make it harder for us to achieve that lean, toned body that we're after, especially if we're not eating enough. It could also spike our cortisol and make us hold on to excess belly fat. And please remember that eating less is not the answer. Eating smart, following your macros, getting enough protein and fiber is the answer. So make sure that you have a balanced diet, that you're eating enough calories for your body, your goals, and what you're after, and stop starving yourself and eat the cake. Life is too short not to eat the cake. So if this episode hit home and you want some help creating a realistic plan that actually works for your life, go ahead and shoot me a message on Instagram with the word help, and I'll send you some information on my fat loss strategy, and we can talk through just a plan that might actually work for you and get you over the finish line for your goals. So let's build the strongest, most confident version of ourselves, one that's going to last and one that we can get to the results and keep them forever. So thanks for listening to Non-Negotiable Living. Until next time, let's just keep working on our non-negotiable habits, making sure that we're getting our workouts in, fueling our body properly, and prioritizing rest and sleep. You guys got this.